I thought my girlfriend and I were impenetrable. We were that couple everyone said was goals. We were literally in the middle of picking out furniture for the apartment we had just signed a lease on. Then, a single text message popped up on my phone. A message she definitely didn't mean to send to me. And in 5 seconds, the entire future I thought we were building evaporated. The text didn't just reveal a secret. It revealed that the last 6 months of my life had been a lie. And the worst part wasn't even what she was doing. It was how long she had been planning to get away with it. Let me give you some background so you understand why this hit me so hard. I'm 28, and my girlfriend, let's call her Maya, is 27. We've been together for 3 years. To say things were good would be an understatement. We were best friends. We rarely fought, and when we did, it was usually about dumb stuff, like what to order for dinner or whose turn it was to do the laundry. We had this shared vision of the future. We both wanted to stay in the city. We both wanted a dog. We both wanted to travel a bit before settling down. About 2 months ago, we decided it was time to move in together properly. We had been staying at each other's places for years, but we wanted a joint lease, a real home. We found this amazing 2-bedroom place in a neighbourhood we both loved. It was slightly over our budget, but Maya insisted we could make it work. She was particularly excited about the 2nd bedroom. She kept talking about turning it into an office for me because I work from home a lot, and a studio space for her art. She seemed so invested. She was picking out paint swatches, sending me links to rugs at 2 a.m, the whole 9 yards. I had zero reason to doubt her commitment. But looking back now, I realise there were signs I missed. Little cracks in the foundation. It started about 3 weeks ago. Maya became distant. Not in a mean way, but she was just physically present while her mind was somewhere else. She became glued to her phone. I know. That is the classic cheating red flag. But Maya isn't the cheating type. Or at least I didn't think she was. She's terrible at lying. If I asked her what she got me for my birthday, she'd panic and tell me 3 weeks early. But suddenly, she was guarding her screen. She changed her passcode. When I asked her about it, she laughed it off and said, "Oh, I'm planning a surprise for your parents' anniversary. I don't want you to see." It sounded plausible. My parents' 30th anniversary was coming up, so I let it go. Then came the late nights. She works in marketing, and usually her hours are pretty standard. But suddenly, she was staying at the office until 8 or 9 p.m. When she came home, she looked exhausted, but also wired, like she was running on adrenaline. When I'd ask how work was, she'd give me these vague answers. "Oh, just a big project, lots of moving parts." I tried to be the supportive boyfriend. I cooked dinner. I gave her massages. I handled all the paperwork for the new apartment lease. I paid the security deposit, which was $3,000 by the way, from my savings account because she said she was waiting on a bonus check to transfer her half. Fast forward to last Tuesday. We were sitting on the couch watching a movie. She got up to go to the bathroom and left her phone on the coffee table. We were eating pizza and my hands were greasy, so I wasn't touching anything. But then her phone lit up. It wasn't a text notification on the lock screen. It was an actual message coming through on my phone. See, Maya and I share a phone plan to save money, and we have each other on iMessage. Sometimes, if the signal is weird, or if she accidentally types my name instead of someone else's, things get crossed. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out, thinking it was work. It was a text from Maya. My heart stopped. I looked at the coffee table. Her phone was dark. She must have been trying to text someone else, and in a rush, or out of habit, she selected my contact because I'm her pinned conversation. The text read, I can't do this anymore. I feel sick every time he talks about the apartment. I haven't told him yet. I think I'm just going to leave a letter and go. It's easier that way. I read it 3 times. I feel sick every time he talks about the apartment. I haven't told him yet. Just going to leave a letter. I felt like I had been punched in the gut. The air left the room. My first thought was, she's cheating. She's leaving me for someone else, and she's moving in with him. I heard the toilet flush. I shoved my phone back in my pocket. My hands were shaking so bad, I had to clasp them together. She walked back into the living room, smiling. She sat down next to me and grabbed a slice of pizza. What did I miss? She asked. I looked at her. Really looked at her. This woman I'd spent 3 years with. Who I just signed a lease with. Who I just paid a $3,000 deposit for. Who are you texting? I asked. My voice sounded remarkably calm, which was terrifying. She froze mid-chew. What? Nobody. I was in the bathroom. Maya, I said. I pulled my phone out and unlocked it. You sent this to me. I held the screen up. She squinted at it, confused for a split second, and then I saw the colour drain out of her face. It wasn't a gradual pale. It was instant. She looked like she was going to throw up. She lunged for her own phone on the table, but I grabbed it first. Who was this for? I asked. Is there someone else? No, she yelled, and she actually started crying immediately. No, OP, it's not a guy, I swear to God. Then what is it? You're going to leave a letter and go. You feel sick about the apartment. What is going on? She put her head in her hands. I said that to Sarah. She sobbed. Sarah is her sister. Show me, I said. She unlocked her phone with trembling hands and opened her email. Not her texts. Her email. She handed it to me. It wasn't a love letter to another man. It was a forwarded acceptance letter. Subject: Offer of employment, Senior Brand Strategist, Singapore branch. I stared at the screen. It was a job offer, a massive promotion, double her salary, relocation package included. But that wasn't the kicker. The date on the email was from 2 months ago. You got a job in Singapore? I asked. I applied on a whim, she stammered. I didn't think I'd get it. This email was from 2 months ago, Maya. It says you accepted the offer 6 weeks ago. I scrolled down. Start date, 1st of next month. That was in 10 days. The realization hit me harder than if she'd cheated. Wait, I said, putting the pieces together. You accepted a job on the other side of the planet 6 weeks ago, before we signed the lease on this apartment, before I paid the deposit? She nodded, tears streaming down her face. I didn't know how to tell you. You let me sign a 12-month lease. I whispered. You let me drain my savings for a deposit on a place you knew were never going to live in. I was going to pay you back, she cried. The signing bonus covers it. I was going to write you a check and leave it with a letter. You were going to leave a letter. I stood up. I couldn't sit next to her anymore. You weren't even going to break up with me to my face. You were going to move to Singapore and leave a note. The argument that followed was the quietest, most brutal fight of my life. There was no screaming. Just the cold, hard reality of what she had done. She tried to justify it. She said she was terrified I would try to convince her to stay, or that I would offer to come with her. Why is that a bad thing? I asked. Why couldn't we have talked about me coming with you? And that's when she dropped the second bomb. The real truth. Because I want a fresh start. Alone. She looked up at me, her eyes red. I love you, but I felt stuck for a long time. I wanted this adventure, and I knew if I told you, you'd be supportive, you'd want to come, you'd uproot your life for me, and I didn't want that guilt. I wanted to be Maya in Singapore, not Maya and Gopi. So you strung me along, I said. You pretended to plan a future here. You picked out pink colours for a room you knew would be empty. I wanted one last month of us, she said weakly. I wanted to play house one last time before everything changed. I was selfish. I know. You weren't just selfish, I told her. You were cruel. I packed a bag that night. I didn't even know where I was going. I just knew I couldn't sleep in the same bed as her. As I was leaving, she tried to hand me a check. She had actually written it out already. $3,000 for the deposit, plus an extra $1,000 for trouble. Like I was a landlord, she was a victim, not her partner of 3 years. I didn't take it. I just walked out. That was 4 days ago. I'm staying at my brother's place on his couch. Maya leaves for Singapore on Monday. We've texted a few times, strictly regarding logistics. She's going to pay the lease break fee for the apartment. I managed to get out of the contract because the landlord is a decent guy, and I told him the truth, that my girlfriend moved to another continent without telling me. He actually gave me the deposit back. It's weird. If she had cheated on me, I could be angry. I could hate her. But this feels different. She didn't leave me for a person. She left me for a life I wasn't allowed to be a part of. She wanted to escape so badly that she turned our relationship into a performance art piece for the last 2 months. Every kiss, every I love you, every discussion about furniture, it was all her saying goodbye, and I didn't even know I was being broken up with. I learned something valuable though. You can know someone's coffee order, their favourite movie, and their childhood trauma, and still not know a single thing about what's going on in their head. I'm going to be okay. I have my job, I have my friends. But I don't think I'll be dating for a long time. And if I do, the first thing I'm asking is if they have any active job applications in Southeast Asia. Thanks for listening. Guys, don't ignore the red flags. And if your partner accidentally texts you something suspicious, believe them the first time.